I want to ask you guys, maybe for somebody who's never heard of Dream Nails, how would you describe yourself as a band?
Well,
Yeah, I like how you were in sync.
yeah. Well, I guess the party line is we're punk witches. We're your favorite punk witches. Um, However you want to interpret that. But I mean, I to throw a few other random words in there, memes maybe you want to do as well. I would chuck in the word fries. I would chuck in the word jokes. How else would you describe our sound?
We're DIY punk, but we're also polished. We're fun. We're really fun.
Yeah. And I remember actually when I first met you, Mimi, through small talk, you told me you were in a band. And I'm like, oh, send me some of your stuff. And you sent me a track. And I think I actually texted you back, this is fun, because it was just kind of like aggressive and just obnoxious. But one thing at first, I kind of just like heard it from what's on the surface. Like I kind of had it in the background in my house and just kind of grooving more to the beat. But a lot of like your lyrical content is like a lot deeper than that. And it seems like you guys kind of have, I guess, like this conscious movement going on of like creating like a safe space for women and like the LGBTQ tongue-tied the community and all that. And
yeah. Absolutely. Well, like as much as we're super fun and super jokes, like I think it's true for all of us that our music is a vehicle for our politics that we take very seriously. We're a queer band. We're intersectional feminists, and a lot of our songs are fun and silly, but a lot of them are very politically meaningful. And I think you can take all of our songs and all of our music at face value and just have a great time and bob around. But we definitely take our politics and the message of the music very seriously as well.
Yeah, for sure. It kind of gives me like a bit of like a feeling of like the band System of a Down, where it's
my God, yes.
Oh, Mimi, do you want to say something on that, babe?
I really love System of a Down. I was actually just like praising them to someone who did not care like a few days ago, just talking about
what were they saying? Like
they were just like, oh yeah, they're good. And I was like, no, you don't understand. But Prison Song. Listen to Prison Song.
Yeah, it's very relevant actually. Like a lot of those tracks that they made in like the early 2000s, like what's happening with the world right now. And like, I guess I don't want to go too political into this and kind of keep the focus on you guys, but.
No, it's true. I mean, like one day we hope to have a tribute act called Sisters of a Down. Obviously, sisters will be spelled with a Y, S-Y. And Mimi, please share what you have recently done, which Sean, you must have seen on our Instagram because it's legendary.
I recently did like a piano cover of Chop Suey, so it's on our Instagram.
Oh, no way. I must have missed that. I follow you guys, but sometimes like lately, just like this week, I haven't really been on like social media. It's been kind of draining me a bit. So
of course, no worries. Also, you have it to look forward to. So yeah. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, thanks for the tip on that one. And Mimi, I do know you are from Canada.
Yeah.
How did you connect with these witches in the UK?
These witches, they were calling me from across the sea.
They summoned you?
Summoned you. That was cool. It was pure Macbeth style.
Well, I was the last one to join the band almost 3 years ago, I think. But Lucy and I used to play in a band together, and we actually like met off Gumtree. So Gumtree is like the Craigslist of the UK. I guess you don't have Gumtree.
No, I never heard of that before.
Yeah, it's like Craigslist, but basically I just put an ad being like, because I was in my first year of university here, and I just put an ad out about starting a band, and then Lucy responded.
Like, I have a band.
And then
literally.
It was like but this was before Dream Nail, so Lucy and I had a band that was our own, and we played one show, and it was in Lucy's kitchen.
Cool.
And then we kind of disbanded, and then a few years later, Lucy was in Dream Nails, and then asked me, they needed a bass player. So.
That's really cool.
Yeah. It was so sweet. Also, Mimi was the first person I ever played the drums in front of, because she put this advert out on Gumtree, and I literally responded coincidentally an hour like after you'd posted it, memes. And we recently found the messages from this exchange, and they're just so sweet and earnest. But yeah, I'd just been like teaching myself drums for a few months, and I was very shy about it. So yeah, Mimi was the first person I've ever played music with, and hopefully he'll be the last.
That's an adorable story too. It's interesting to say or hear that you were shy with it too, because I don't know, the style of Dream Nails just seems kind of like so like in your face. And do you still feel like a little shy about your craft, and maybe like when it's time to play, like you just kind of
yeah, I mean, actually, yeah, especially me, because I feel I'm so on track. Like, I'm self-taught. I haven't been drumming for, now it's been about 6 years, but I don't have as much technical ability as I feel I should. Like, I don't feel I have the chops. And also, like, especially gig spaces and rehearsal spaces, they're pretty like male environments. And I always just felt a bit shy and a bit unsure. But like, that's why I always wanted to play with other women, because I just wanted that like sisterhood on stage. And so even though sometimes things happen to us in sound check or whatever, which makes us feel a bit shitty and a bit shy, but then as soon as we start playing, it's like, this is our fucking room. Like, if you don't like it, you can get the fuck out.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's punk rock too. Like, you're allowed to be floppy. Like, people kind of want that like gritty from it too. It's like, you fuck up, who cares? Just like keep hitting it.
Exactly. Like, are you gonna come and get the drumsticks out of my hands? Like, I'm making the loudest noise in the room. Like, you gotta listen to me now. So yeah, that's kind of my attitude.
Yeah, and like on the show, like I've talked to like so many like different artists, from musicians to comedians to actors, pro wrestlers, whatever. And there's an interesting pattern where there's a lot of like the ones I notice who are like maybe in their stage persona, like really aggressive and like abrasive in a way. When you talk to them, like when they're just their normal selves, they talk to me about like having a bit of like social anxiety and like just the other side of the coin too. So it's like, I don't know, that's always interests me, almost like do you guys both like, because even like I've crossed paths with you, Mimi, a couple times, and you're kind of chill, like super chill, and then you listen to this music and it's just like punches you, you know? So,
punches you, and Mimi will literally kick you in the face.
That's sick. But do you guys just like find like this is just like such a outlet for like those type of emotions to you?
Yeah, I think definitely, because there's so many things that we write about that kind of comes from like our own experience and frustrations. And there's no other way to like get it out there or to try and change it. It's kind of like we are like taking these issues that we really care about, writing about it, and then like, I don't know, like doing fundraisers for something, for anything, or like putting it in our zine or something, like, and other people come up to us and they're like really into it, and they're thankful. Like after the show, they're like, I'm so happy you said that on stage. And then you get this kind of like sense of like a collective or like a community of like women who are kind of experiencing, or anyone who are experiencing the same kind of things as you, like not feeling safe at a show, like, I don't know, anything.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's such a good outlet for that, because I don't know what I'd do with all of my anger and my emotions without the band. Like, how would you be like, oh, I'm so tired of like women, like queer women getting beaten up. like on public transport. What else could you, like, we just were like, write a song, let's just get it out there, and that's it. Like, what else would we do on our own? Like, how else would we express ourselves?
What are we doing on that time?
Yeah, no, that's dope. And what's the process of when you ladies get together and you create a song? Is there like somebody just usually have a idea, or does it start with like the riff, or is it different every time?
It's kind of different every time. I mean, a lot of our songs are experienced either by things that have personally happened to us, like Text Me Back. No prizes for guessing the the source of that song. But also like our recent single Kiss My Fist, which is like what Mimi touched upon, which was about two gay women who were beaten up on a bus because a group of guys asked them to kiss and they refused.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of like, it's things that are happening around us, particular frustrations. Sometimes, it's the things that are born out of like drum beats or guitar riffs or like melody or like lyrics. But normally it's like, I would say, so Wouldn't You Memes, it's more like events and experiences. And then someone has the spark and then we all spin it together.
Yeah, usually the idea, I think someone's like, let's write a song about being... Or like that's what we did in Norway. We were just like on tour and we we're like talking about Jillian Michaels, who's a fitness instructor, like a queer cult fitness instructor. And we were like, let's write a song about Jillian Michaels. And then everything comes together. I think it's usually like the idea first and then we all just kind of like work on the music.
What's the song called about her? I actually have an ex who, me and her we're on good terms right now, but she was obsessed with Jillian Michaels, like had all the DVDs.
Oh my God, that's quite triggering.
I want to send it to her.
Well, it's going to be out.
Oh, okay, so it's not out yet?
Well, we've got a video. We just made a video.
Oh, yeah, cool. It's called Jillian. Lucy, what's the actual date in July?
It's next Thursday, the 2nd. I think it's the 2nd, either the 2nd or the 3rd.
Yeah.
It'll be out and we're dropping the video. We made the video in quarantine. It's home workout themed and it's just really fun and really jokes, and you should send it to your ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah, also like I went on your Bandcamp and I noticed you guys been releasing a lot of content throughout 2020. Like you got 3 songs, this one's on the way. Is this all leading to maybe an album?
Yes. Well, we had to postpone the album release. It was supposed to be in April. And we had a whole tour booked and stuff, but obviously we've had to postpone it. So our album is out first week of September, right, Lucy?
Yeah, no, it should be the 28th of August, actually.
28th of August. So yeah, we are releasing an album. But it's been pretty exciting because we initially started the album campaign in the UK with our UK label Alcopop, and then we've signed to Dine Alone in Canada. So we've had to kind of, like, we're releasing more singles and stuff coming up to the album release. So that's why we've got Jillian coming out with a video, and hopefully more videos will come before the album.
Yeah, and that's awesome. Big congratulations on the double label deal going on. I know that makes me happy too, so I can get it over here.
I know. You'll hopefully be able to go into your local record shop and buy it. It's so surreal. It's fucking surreal, man.
Yeah. I'll have to, like, when it comes out, I'll have to hunt it down and take a picture for you guys.
Oh God, that I will literally like swell with joy and pride. That would be so nice.
Yeah, that's got to be an exciting feeling, like just to have something like a physical copy of your work out on the shelf.
Yeah, absolutely. I was a bit, when we got our test copy, I was a bit tearful when I've like displayed it in my room. I was just so happy. It's just like, it's also just come from so much. It's our baby, and it's like we fucking have grafted for that. Like, you know, it's just so frustrating when like bands apparently like appear overnight, like completely fully formed with like a completely fully formed album, and it just like there's a whole narrative around them, like they've just been discovered. Like, this like discovery narrative. But like, no, we worked so hard for this album. Like, we were playing shows and flogging merch shamefully all over the UK and Europe for like 3 years, like raising those pounds, and we paid for this all ourselves, and we've done it all ourselves. So it's going to be an amazing combination of our work. It's very cool.
Hey guys, just taking a pause for the cause to let you know the new Dream Nails album, self-titled Dream Nails, is actually out as of last week. This is an older interview we recorded a little while back, not too long ago. But yeah, really exciting times. This album has 15 killer tracks, and this is their brand new video titled This Is the Summer. It's available on all streaming platforms and even on vinyl. So if you have the means, buy a hard copy or go to their Bandcamp and purchase it if you can, and keep supporting people who project the energy of excellence. Also, if you're hearing this ad, you are watching this interview on our brand new YouTube channel, so also hit the subscribe button and give that a little love. And yeah, before we get back into this interview, we're going to just let this play for a few seconds.
Yeah, well deserved, and congrats again.
Thank you.
Oh, that's awesome. I love hearing that stuff like that, especially like I don't know. There's a lot of grind to any type of creative work, and like a lot of people just kind of see the final project or product, and some people, like I noticed too, they think like maybe you're like the chosen one, or just kind of just got grabbed and like, okay, here's the album, or here's your stand-up comedy spot, but people don't see the under layers of just the grinding. And like, I'm sure even like, as you explained it to me, you were even downplaying like all these shows and like tiny venues, and just keep building and building and building until you built your brand and your audience. And yeah,
exactly. And like, and I mean, we never really have bad shows, but like, I imagine especially with comedy, also like you're on your own. Like, at least we have each other. Like, I don't know, I'm always grateful for that. But it's so true. No one wants to see the hard work because it's kind of ugly, and like, no one wants to see it, but it's fucking there and it should be celebrated.
Yeah, definitely. And I want to say too, with these new singles, I love the artwork on them, and you can tell it's like the same person is like kind of making them. Like, who does your art?
It's this woman called Jeannie Espinosa, and she's in Barcelona. We found her on Instagram, I think. Or no, on Instagram.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And then we just suggested, we asked her if she'd be interested, and she was just all for it. And like, ever since then, yeah, she's been so amazing to work with. Her art is so cool. And I feel like it really fits with our music as well and our brand. She just kind of gets us.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. And another thing I wanted to talk to you about is your live show. I think it might have been like a year ago, I saw an article pop up of your band almost talking about like how you kind of like make a point to have like the guys in the back and ladies and like non-binary people in the front, which I think is really cool. And obviously it's like connecting with kind of your band's vision and everything. And I just want to know like how you kind of like came up with that concept for your live show. And if there's anybody who's ever like at your live show who doesn't get it, maybe like a male, or just like no, I'm in the front row, like you can't move me type of thing, or
oh man, big time. We didn't actually come up with that. So obviously we owe a lot to Riot Girl in the early mid 90s. Bands like Bikini Kill and Babes in Toyland and all that lot. So they, I believe, originated the Girls to the Front chant. And obviously we've extended that to women and non-binary people. But the philosophy behind it, I guess, is just that like all spaces, pretty much all public spaces, are male dominated. And it's so important for us to be able to offer our fans somewhere where they just feel like they can like let loose and have the joy and the rage that we're experiencing and feel completely safe, and completely open to do that. But yeah, we quite frequently, it might not shock you to hear that there are sometimes men who literally just cannot believe that for once in their lives at a feminist punk show, which normally they have chosen to come to, they cannot. They've paid good money for. But oh my god, memes! What are some like legendary ones?
Oh, there was one that was, well, there's two stories that come to mind. One that was quite scary when we played in Brighton, and a man wouldn't move, and we just took off our instruments because we were just like, okay, well, we're not going to play until this is sorted out. And it got to the point where the security guard had to come and be like, dude, just move. And they just started fighting, and it was like very violent, and the stage isn't that high. And I was like, immediately, oh my God, we're like targets for this man's violence. Like,
oh, wow.
They had to pull him out. It was so scary. But like most of the time, like that's kind of like one of the more severe like examples. But one of my favorite times was when we played in Bristol. Do you remember this, Lucy?
Oh yeah.
He wouldn't move, and then all of a sudden, like all the women at the front were like, "Get up!" And it was like you could just see him being like taken out. You could watch him all the way to the doorway, kind of like be pushed out. It was like, what did we describe it as? Like a human, like an immune system? Like
it was an immune system. It was like watching from the stage. It was watching a like embodiment of a human immune system, like get rid of a germ. It was amazing.
Did you find like the energy of the room changed once that person was out too? It's like, oh, this place isn't thick anymore.
Yeah, and also it's just like, because you can see like when that happens, especially in a situation like that, you can see like, because all of a sudden like the people at the front are so empowered that they can and will kick this person out, and then more people like do it together, and it's literally just like a joint effort, and then when they've gone it's like, way. So,
that's so cool.
That was a particularly cool one. Yeah,
I love that immune system analogy too. Even like
that was Janie that came up with that.
That can work in other environments too, when you're just like having a good time at a party and some toxic person comes in and starts just fucking shit up, and gotta get those bad cells out of there.
literally.
It's amazing. And it's I think it's cool that you guys like really like do this with your audience, and because I go to a lot of like different metal shows, and some of my female friends, they've told me like they don't feel safe, like because they're near the front, everybody's like smashing each other, and like some have been groped before too. And I think like it's a beautiful thing what you guys do, and just whether it's just for your set of that night or whatever, it just like them to have like that hour block or 40 minutes or however long your set is, just to have like, this is my time. I don't have to worry about other bullshit. I can just enjoy the music and everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's such a cool thing, because I never in my life saw women at the front of a show like that until I played in Dream Nails. And obviously I've been going to gigs myself my whole life and trying to like being at the front and getting groped and getting hurt and all that. But that's the first time I ever saw that, and the only time I've ever seen that. And I was just like, what is this? What is this beautiful image? What am I seeing? It's like women at the front in their own pants. I've never seen that before in my life.
No, that's great too. And if I ever see you live, if I'm in the UK too, I'll know to stand in the back now. It's just like hang out by the door. I don't want no confrontation.
Welcome, Sean. You are so welcome. But like, I know you will. But also the people, and this is like when we get reports from the back, like dispatches from the back. It's like the men, like 99% of men fucking love being at the back. They love like taking this moment to like be good allies and like give the space and just rock out from the back, and they just like are having a great time themselves, and it's lovely. And you
they make friends too.
Huh, Mimi? What did you say?
They make friends at the back too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's like their girlfriends are like all at the front and just like, hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
It's so sweet.
Yeah, that's awesome. And even like it sounds like this is so unique to me to hear that you guys do this. It kind of sounds like, I don't know, just like the seeds of maybe like a revolution, and maybe some other bands can start doing this and making like safer places too.
Oh yeah, I hope so.
And yeah, speaking of like people who like push for change too, I also like a long time ago I saw a post where Tom Morello was like kind of bigging you guys up, and he's always been one to just kind of push for I don't know, just positive movements and like kind of going against the grain of what everybody else is doing. And yeah, I want to know about like your reactions to that and all that, like that he's been like kind of like a fan of you guys.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's actually so surreal. I've been just like watching MTV recently and like keep seeing them pop up on like their old videos and bits of their live sets. And it's just like, it's striking me now as literally the most surreal thing that he knows and who we are and like loves us and champions us, and actually released our first single off the album, Corporate Realness, on his label, Firebrand. But yeah, Memes, do you want to say a bit more about that? I think you've had quite a lot of time with him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We've hung out with him a few times, like when he's been in London and stuff, and it's great to chat to him because he just wants to know. He wants to pick our brains on like feminism and like intersectional feminism, and he's got so many questions about that. So it's really cool that someone like Tom Morello is still, even though he's like, I feel like he's been like really radical, he still wants to learn and still wants to like ask us questions, even though we're just like us compared to him. Is like, he's like a guitar god, and we're little minnows in this giant ocean in the music industry, and he's asking us questions. It's so cool.
Yeah, that is cool too. It kind of like shows too, like on his side, like Rage Against the Machine wasn't just a gimmick. Like he's really this forward-moving mind. And,
absolutely. And like he comes from like, I think like his whole family is super politically engaged. Like he supports so many different like causes and individuals and bands. Like he is legit the real deal. Like there is nothing for show about his politics. Mm-hmm. He's just a cool kind of dorky guy, actually.
Yeah, you find like most guitar players are like that too. Even like from doing like journalism from like the last 10 years, I've interviewed like some of my favorite like guys in metal bands, and on these albums they're like so scary and dark, and then when you meet them they're just like kind of like these little like shy techies and stuff like that.
And actually Tom told us such a sweet little story. You know how like when he on his guitar he always has his strings like uncut at the ends. I don't know what that's actually called, but you know, they're like long and spindly at the end, like he doesn't cut them. But the reason he does that is because when he started playing in like his school band, the band leader who was like a really cool dude, he was like always very militant about the strings being cut. So it was just like his personal revenge. As soon as he was 18 and left school, he just stopped cutting the strings. And I just think that's so sweet and dorky.
That's amazing, actually, because like I've always noticed that like when he's playing live, it's just like these dangly things. And I used to play a bit of guitar too, and it would give me OCD a bit. I'm like, Tom, cut your shit. But I like why he's doing it. It's like, no, fuck that guy.
It was like his name was Jeff. No, literally. And when he said that, he was like, yeah, this guy called Jeff. And I was like, started singing to him like, fuck you, Jeff, I won't do what you tell me. Like, was that the inspo, Tom?
Yeah, that song's just about like one guy.
Yeah, it's about Jeff.
Oh, that's a funny tidbit. Yeah, I didn't know the reason why he had those strings like that, but no, that's cool. And yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing that you guys get to hang with him, and he's on you guys are on his radar as well too, because obviously he sees like I guess, beginning stages of probably what Rage was in you guys. Like, you guys are doing something really different and just kind of pushing for human rights and everything. And yeah, it's a beautiful thing, in my opinion.
Oh, thanks. It is.
Yeah. Another thing I stumbled across on your YouTube channel, I loved the quarantine videos you guys were making. And actually, Lucy, I think you should start like a cooking show. I kind of enjoyed your cadence. Like, it was a little aggressive and sassy, and
I think that's my general vibe, like really gentle and maternal, but also like quite sassy.
yeah. It was like this fun like little switch up. It's like, oh, she's baking these nice these puddings, and then all of a sudden you just like, I forget some of the quotes, but you have these little snippy lines here and there, and I was dying watching.
Oh, that's so jokes. Yeah, thanks. I mean, that feels so long ago. I mean, I think we all lost our minds a bit at the beginning of quarantine, didn't we?
Yeah, definitely.
What was your first one, Memes? Your first?
Mine
was the Eco Brick, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, shit, that was so cool.
But I have an update on my Eco Bricks. So I've actually started, like, I bought these like cotton mesh grocery bags, and I've started just leaving the plastic at the store, because the idea is that if everyone does this, they'll be overwhelmed by the plastic, and then they'll be like, wait, how should we package our fruit and veg? Like, you guys don't have that problem there, because in Canada they don't really put vegetables and stuff in the unrecyclable plastic. But here it's like literally everything is in plastic. So I've just been leaving it at the store. I've abandoned the Eco Bricks. I'm just leaving it at the store. Like, I have like my spinach, and I'm just like decanting it into like a cotton bag, and then I just like.
You absolute joker. What, like after you paid for it? Yeah,
after I paid for it, I just do it after the till.
Yeah, you seem very just like environmentally friendly, and I respect that. And how would you explain an Eco Brick for somebody who's never seen one before? Because I never heard of it until I watched this video, and it kind of, even that day after I watched it, I started like, I wasn't shredding like the plastic bags, but I was like kind of stuffing them in like little bottles and stuff. I'm like, oh, this makes more sense to just like package, and even like my recycling's a little more organized now, just kind of doing that. And
oh, that's nice. Oh, yeah. That makes me happy. But yeah, it's just like, yeah, an Eco Brick, because they can use them for, I don't know what it's like in Canada if there's places to drop them off, but yeah, you can use them for building walls and structures and stuff. But it's basically just a plastic bottle, and you got to shred this plastic that's unrecyclable, which is usually that like thin kind of plastic. Stuff it in there as much as you can, and then yeah, you can use them as actual bricks. But it's really like crazy once you start looking at all your groceries and seeing like what's recyclable and what isn't, because like what isn't recyclable, it's literally like, where does it go? It's plastic. It's not gonna like go in the compost. When it goes in the trash, it's just there to be in a landfill, or it's never going to go away. Like, you can't actually dispose of unrecyclable plastic. If you search on the internet, there's nothing you can't do. You can't do it. So that's the only thing you can do, is make it an Eco Brick. Just stuff it into a brick so it doesn't like go into the ocean or something.
Yeah, it just kind of like compacts all the space, and yeah, you're not worried about like a turtle choking on it. Or
exactly.
Yeah, no, that's really cool, and it's like very conscious of you. And yeah, thanks for teaching me that as well.
No worries.
But sometimes, like myself, and I know a lot of people too, like, you just don't think of these things. Like, you just kind of just throw it in the recycle bin or whatever, and you're like, okay, it's not my problem anymore. You know?
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yeah, you don't think of how it breaks down or whatever. But that's cool to know. And Mimi, I also noticed you did one on peanut butter cookies, and said the Kraft peanut butter from Canada is the best peanut butter. And I didn't know that was only a Canadian thing, that style of peanut butter. And I wanted to ask you, is there anything from the UK that I'm missing out on that's like way better than over here?
Oh my God.
Wow, this is a cool question.
Yeah, just so random.
Lucy spends a lot of time in the States, so maybe Lucy, you can think of what's not there that's here as well.
Oh, I don't know. I think everything's better in England.
Yeah.
There's
Proud.
something really boring. It's just like this German brand called Schar, or SCHAR, and it's gluten-free stuff. Oh my God, it's so good. But if you're not gluten-free, you won't give a fuck, so.
Yeah.
It's not the
It
best.
doesn't matter to me. But maybe one day, I'm getting more conscious with the eco bricks. This might be my next step, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
save me, Dream Nails. No, this has been like a really fun conversation, and I also want to let people know to check out your Bandcamp. You got 3 new songs from 2020 on here: Text Me Back, Payback, Kiss My Fist. And actually this is kind of awesome. I usually do interviews in person, and I'll to not be rude, I'll just study so much on the band and all their different websites and stuff. But now that I'm at my home space, I got little cheat notes all over my computer, little sticky notes. So I don't know if I'll go back to the studio again. But dreamnails.bandcamp, check that out.
Cool.
And also their YouTube, Dream Nails. And so it seems like, at least from what I hear on the news, that COVID's kind of dying down. Who knows if we're going to get a second wave? But do you guys have any plans for the band, post-COVID, or looking into doing any shows or anything?
Lucy?
Yeah, well, we're gonna hopefully around the time of our album release, we're gonna be live streaming some gigs, and we're concocting something called a gig in a box. So we're doing ticketed Zoom concerts pretty much, and we're gonna send to the people that buy tickets a gig experience in a box. So it's gonna include a wristband, a cloakroom ticket. We're actually replicating the sticky floor of your favorite and most disgusting DIY venue. We've consulted a surface designer to replicate the surface of the floor. We're going to be sending Lucozade, which is, I don't know if you have Lucozade in Canada. Do you have Lucozade in Canada, Means?
No, I don't know what that is.
It's like Gatorade. It's kind of like Gatorade, I think. Do you have Gatorade in Canada? Huh?
It's like an energy drink version of Gatorade.
Like a soft energy sports drink. So we're going to have Lucozade, or we're going to have maybe some beer. We're going to recreate the whole gig experience in a box. So that's our main post-COVID plan, until we can be playing live again, which will happen next year, or we will go insane.
That's such a great idea too. I don't hear anybody doing that. It's just I don't know, trying to, I guess it's one step further into making the gig a reality again, and being in these sticky venues and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you guys must be dying to get out there and just play again. I can imagine.
Oh god. Yeah. Absolutely dying. Yeah.
It's weird. I don't feel like I know who I am anymore, because it's so, integral to my life.
I relate to that in so many different ways too. It's like I told you, I haven't been doing these podcast episodes before I was doing 2 a week. And the funny thing is, when COVID happened, everybody started their own podcast, and I'm the guy who consistently do it, and I just stopped doing a podcast or whatever. But there's
that's so funny.
Some rebuilding going on with the website, and I've still been working on it too. But I do miss the social aspect of it, and I'm realizing even being able to have this type of conversation with you two, how important doing these episodes are, kind of a part of my life. It kind of fuels me, these type of conversations, and I don't know, it's a weird feeling of just this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And when I wasn't doing it, it seemed like something was off a bit. And I'm sure maybe that's what you were saying, Mimi, like, I don't know who I am anymore moment.
Oh, it's true. It's true. And they were doing like studies here about how likely people are going to go back to gigs. And it was like 20% of people said they would go to gigs by like October or something. So yeah, it's kind of scary. They're projecting like so many millions of pounds losses in the music industry and venues closing. It's just a bit of a scary time. So we're just going to try and go on tour next March when it's rescheduled, but it's kind of a scary time. Don't know what's going to happen to all the venues.
Yeah, definitely. And it's, from the musicians to the crew to like people working behind the bar, like the entertainment industry's been screwed for months, and like who knows when people are going to feel safe or we're going to be allowed to reopen all these places too. So like I want to say too, like people like at home too, like if you got an extra couple bucks or whatever, go and support one of your favorite artists who are maybe more low key than like a Beyonce or something. Like I heard this from somebody, like Beyonce doesn't need your money. Like go give it to anybody, or like even check out, big plug, dreamnails.bandcamp and check out like some of their singles, or
definitely, or your favorite, or a little venue. I think the venues more than anything, like your favorite small local venue, like give them some love, give them a couple of quid or a couple of bucks, whatever you want.
Yeah,
and we're gonna have our pre-order bundles up soon for our album, so hopefully
you can definitely buy those.
Whoever's listening will in time will be there. The pre-order bundles will be there in time. Whoever's listening.
Yeah, cool. And yeah, keep me in the loop when all that stuff is happening too, from the show to the pre-orders and stuff, and I'll share them in my little circles on the interwebs and all that.
That's cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and again, I want to thank you for taking the time, shooting the shit with me. I feel like I needed this good conversation about just art and music. I've been too much like in my own like apartment basement here, just in my own head. It's nice to like not be a hermit and start communicating with real people. So this is my first step of being a real person again.
Oh, nice. Well, welcome back. In a way, me too.
Oh, thanks, Sean.
Yeah, awesome.
Thanks so much, Sean.
To the Creative Imbalance podcast can burn in hell.